Yeah, absolutely. So next up we have Amisha. Her project is awesome. I am so excited for you all to see it. Although she has a very similar project to one of my other students, that does not matter because she took the time to make it her own with a modification. So I will just let her go take it away. No time to wait.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amisha. I'm a rising senior at Carlmont High School, and my project is the third eye for the visually impaired. The way this device works is basically the user will put it on their hand with the sensor in front, and if the sensor detects any object that is close by, I believe it's within 50 centimeters, then it will either buzz or vibrate to notify the user. I chose this project for two different reasons. One was that I have always really enjoyed computer science and programming, but I've never really explored engineering. So this summer, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and choose a project with more engineering than what I was used to. And secondly, I just think the project is really cool. I mean, not only is it like a compact piece of technology that you can like wear on your hands, but it's also an incredibly useful device to people who are visually impaired and they can use it out in the world. So I'm going to share a video of a really quick demo of my project working for you guys. There we go. So this is my project right now. The switch is up, as you can see, for number one. That means this vibrating motor should go off when I put an object within 50 centimeters of the sensor. And right now there's a little propeller on it so you guys can see it better. So let's see. And that is shaking. So when I take the propeller off, it'll just act as a vibrator when an object comes within 50 centimeters. We can do it again. Yeah. And then I'll take my hand off. And now, when I switch this switch down, instead of the vibration, it should be the buzzing sound. So let's do it. There we go. Yeah, so that was a demo of my project working. I'm going to share the code and just go over one section of it for you guys to see. This is all of the code that I uploaded to the ESP32. The most important part is right here. It's a big if statement, basically just saying if the sensor senses an object within 50 centimeters, and if the switch pin is on, then do the buzzer, but if the switch pin is off, then move the servo motor. Yeah. The part that I found hardest to work with for my project was the micro servo, which is what gives the vibration, because in order to get it to work, I needed to import two completely different libraries than I had to make the buzzer work and rewrite a whole section of my code because all of the original code was meant for an Arduino Mini instead of the ESP32, which is what I opted to use to make it more compact. And then this change ended up causing the buzzer not to work because of something inside the library. So it was like I would fix one thing and that would make another stop working and like on and on. But that actually ended up being my favorite part of the project, was constantly testing it and thinking of like, okay, these are the 10 different reasons why this isn't working right now. And then I'd have to go through each and every possibility. With computer science, I was really used to, if one line was causing an error, then the program tells you like, oh, there's an error on line 32. And then you go and you focus on that and you fix that. But with engineering, I had to go through all of the different possible ways that the error could be caused to be able to fix it, which is what I think made when the prototype actually finally worked super satisfying because I had gone through all of this trial and error to get there. I learned a lot these past 3 weeks. I kind of came in not knowing anything about engineering, so it was super interesting learning about circuit flow and how that differs on breadboards versus perf boards and all of that. And it was also really interesting to go through the whole process of implementing a project, like going from just an idea in your head to putting it down on paper and planning it out, to then creating the prototype and fleshing out all of the wiring and the connections there, and then finalizing that idea on a perf board with soldering and all of that. It was all something that I've never done before, so it was really exciting to go through that. Overall, since this was the first engineering project that I've ever done, it's always going to be super memorable, and it really made me curious to explore engineering further. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting more familiar with engineering and different concepts going forward. That was my presentation. If you guys have any questions, I would be happy to answer them now.
Okay, so I do have a question. How powerful is that servo? Like, how much do you feel it when it's going off? Like, is it strong enough that you could feel the table vibrate when it was sitting on there?
It's definitely not that strong. I think because it was on the table, you can kind of hear it vibrating, but it's enough to where I've like put it on my like wrist before where the machine is going to be, and you can definitely feel it like through like a significant part of your arm. Like it would definitely notify you.
I have a question as well. When you showed your circuit, I saw like a whole bunch of different components. So what would you say was like the hardest one to get like integrated in your circuit?
I think, yeah, it was the servo motor. To get that integrated was really confusing because after I like first made all of the wiring and connections and stuff, the buzzer worked perfectly fine, no matter what I did on the switch, which was really confusing. Like I didn't understand why only one part of it was working. So getting the servo motor, I found out that the Arduino IDE has specific coding for servo motors in it, but it only works for Arduinos. And so I had to like bring in a different library that's special to ESP32 servos. And that ended up like messing with the library for buzzers. And so that was a little bit of a mess, but I think, yeah, it just made everything really satisfying when it started working together.
That's amazing.